Welcome to Chewin' Glass, the video documentary series.
Hi friends, thanks for tuning in to my short documentary about training for the Vancouver Marathon, which took place on May 7th, 2023. This video is less about the race itself and more about the preparation over the past few months and the follow-up over the last few days. I don't want to give away all the details of what happened with the race, but the Vancouver Marathon has been a major part of my comeback story this year. If you've been watching my documentary, Tracking, Trimming, and Training, a one-year weight loss journey, you know that from about November 2022 until February of 2023, I documented my journey to get down from 217 pounds to a much healthier weight of 165 pounds. And along the way, I rediscovered my love for running and triathlons. Once I reached my goal weight, I officially declared that I was making a comeback to triathlons and long-distance running events. During the one-year weight loss journey, I did complete several trail runs, 10-kilometer road races, and even a half marathon last October in Victoria. As I became more fit and we came into 2023, I bought a dry race calendar and I planned for some longer and much more challenging runs. And I even registered for a half Ironman, which is coming up this July. But the Vancouver Marathon in May of 2023 was my first big challenge of the year. I decided for this event and for these upcoming triathlons that I've planned that my race weight needed to be lighter. I needed to be around 156 pounds. I will tell you that I reached that goal about a month ago in April of 2023, and I've been training and maintaining that weight with the strategies that I detailed in my previous documentary. So I hope you enjoy this little documentary of my training for the Vancouver Marathon over the past few months.
Hi everybody, it's Sunday, March the 12th, 2023, and this is the first, I guess, official video talking about my comeback, I guess. I'll call it unfinished business. That's what I'm calling it, unfinished business. That's what this video is really going to be about, this whole project. My first project prior to this was really to see if I could get down to a healthy weight. And, with that, of course, there was exercise, and I started to become more motivated as I got closer to achieving the goal, which I got to 165, which is kind of where I need to be just as a normal healthy weight. And that took about a year and 3 months. And along the way, I started to realize, yeah, you know what? I've found a passion again for triathlon and exercise. So the last year, I guess, I've been really kind of increasing my level of exercise, been doing quite a bit of racing, and now I'm signing up for triathlons, which the first one's coming up in June, so a couple of months. I'm about to head out right now for my 16K run because I have a marathon I'm doing in Vancouver in May. So trying to increase my mileage a little bit. I've got a plan for that. And I just finished a half marathon about a month ago, so I'm not far removed from some long distance, but need to obviously go up a lot more. Anyway, this is my first official video, unfinished business. The unfinished business, by the way, is me going back to the Ironman Canada, and not that that was unfinished, but I qualified for Hawaii many years ago, and I want to go back. So I want to actually make that happen. I decided not to go to Hawaii in 1990 when I qualified, and yeah, I want to go back. It's unfinished. All right, that's it for now. My check-in, heading out for 16K.
Okay, everyone, that's 16K finished. It's about 620 per kilometer, average heart rate 150, which is highly inaccurate. It's probably closer to 130. This Apple Watch sometimes is a little inaccurate to say the least. But anyway, felt pretty good. I did have a hard bike race on Zwift yesterday. That kind of blew my legs up a little bit. And I also did this run, as I do almost all my workouts, completely fasted. So, that's what, an hour and 43 minutes or something that took me. And yeah, I didn't feel hungry or anything. I think I probably got about 4 hours, 5 hours fasted before I would really feel it. But I've been practicing bonking. It used to be a word that scared me, but now I go for it. I do want to experience that. I want to experience complete glycogen depletion and really kind of training my body to build more fat enzymes, increase the mitochondria content of my slow twitch muscles. Yeah, anyway, so far so good. 16K done.
Good morning, everyone. It's Sunday, April 9th, 2023, and this is Chewing Glass. The marathon prep coming up is just under a month now for the Vancouver Marathon. Just about to head out onto my second longest run of this training block, and this is a 32-kilometer run. And I thought I'd just show you a little bit about some of the things that I bring with me. I got a couple of new additions for my long run, so just flipped around. These are my new additions. These are my 17-ounce handheld water bottles. I still use my running belt. I've had to put some second skin on my back just to prevent some skin breakdown that I get for these long runs. I carry inside here, incidentally, a gel, ibuprofen, Tylenol, as well as Band-Aids and some electrolyte solution. Incidentally, all four of these bottles have an I think it's LMNT electrolyte mix. I divide that one pack between these four bottles. These are both 10-ounce bottles and these are 17-ounce bottles. Bring my favorite running gloves. I always wear compression socks, mainly because I have varicose veins, pretty distended veins on my one leg. I've got my Hoka Rincons, no, my Hoka Bondi X shoes that I love, and they're kind of they'll get me through the marathon, and then that's it. They need to be retired. Hat and my glasses, and then just in case it's supposed to rain today, so I did bring my rain jacket. And then my most important piece almost is that my head shocks earphones, so they allow me to hear things going on in my outside environment like traffic, and then also yeah, it works really well. I love these things, by the way. These are awesome. I don't miss having to search for my AirPod or whatever that I've dropped, so shout out to these head shocks. They're great, or shocks I guess they're called, but yeah, I love them. That's it.
Hi, everybody. It's Monday, April 10th, 2023. And this is my weekly vlog check-in, whatever I'm calling it, for my marathon prep slash half Ironman prep. But the marathon's coming up first, and that is coming up on April the 7th. Sorry, that's bad. May the 7th. So it's coming up in less than a month now. Training's been going well. Yesterday I ran 32K. I met my weight goal, by the way, so I got down to 155 pounds is where I want to be for a marathon. Probably about that weight for the upcoming half Ironman in July as well. So it seems to be, I think, about a good racing weight. It's a reasonable challenge to maintain that. I still do intermittent fasting. I don't eat anything, even including yesterday when I ran 32K. I did end up by requiring a gel about halfway through because I ran fasted, and I was noticing it for sure. But that's what I wanted, and yeah, so it's going well. Training's going well. Weight has come down. Got a couple of cool things I'm looking forward to trying out here. This is the NYX hydration biosensor. I've been in the past plagued with a lot of cramping, so I've been playing around with electrolyte solutions. They seem to be really helping, but I want to get a little more scientific with that and find out, what exactly, when, and what I should be taking in. So I'm really curious to try that out. I'll be trying that out
probably this weekend, if not for sure the next one. I've got one more long run, 40K, and then the marathon. So yeah, good timing. Anyway, all's going well, training's going well, and weight is where it needs to be. So that's about it for this week. Hi everybody. Just an update as far as my marathon and half Ironman training goes. Today is April the something. Let me just have a look at my watch. April the 15th. And I just did 67K on my road bike, which is, gosh, that's the longest I've ridden for decades. Anyway, went really well. It was an excellent ride. Weather was a bit, cloudy, but perfect riding weather. Anyway, as far as other things go, I did my weigh-in yesterday because today is Saturday, weigh-in Friday. I'm at 157, so I was 155, up a couple pounds. It doesn't surprise me. That's just where I want to be, bumping around 155, 157. It's just, I'm finding with the mileage going up, it's just a little tougher to kind of get my calories right. I'm finding, because I do fasted exercise, I'm good for about an hour and a half with no eating and not eating until lunch. But today that bike ride was well over 3 hours, close to 3.5 hours. So I had to take a couple of gels on board. So I'm just kind of really experimenting and feeling like I need more calories. Good morning, everyone. It is Sunday morning, Sunday, April 16th, and I'm 3 weeks out from my marathon. I have, it's been going well. I did a 32K run last week, so today is a cutback run. I'm doing just a 10K run, probably 12K. And so I thought I'd show you a little bit about my marathon. By the way, it's 3 weeks away. That's the Vancouver Marathon. And that's my kitty. So I'm doing that marathon, and then so I just thought I'd show you a little bit about my kind of morning routine, my routine before I head out for my long run. I'm running about averaging, I think, about 60K a week or so, and I've got one more long run, which is next Sunday, and I'm doing 40K, and that'll be it. Then I'll taper down and do the marathon. But yeah, I thought I'd show you a little bit about my morning routine. It obviously starts, like many people, with coffee. And I still run fasted, by the way. I can run up to, I find, about 2.5 hours with no food. Lately on my 32K run, I did find I needed some gels. So I might do that next week, bring a couple of gels. It seems to just make it a little bit more enjoyable. Obviously I just start with my coffee routine and say, hello, kitty. And nothing too straightforward. I make a pot of coffee for the whole family, and if I get crazy, I've got other stuff later on in the afternoon, but make my pot of coffee, and then I start my routine with stretching. That's a big part of my thing now. It's my shoes I'll be wearing, and I'll show you my stretching routine in a bit, but it's a lot of fascial work. So I get my fascial roller over there, you can see in the corner, and we'll do a lot of fascial rolling, do a lot of stretching, and that takes about half an hour or so. I'll show you a very condensed version of what I do, get my socks on, my shoes on, and then I'll be heading out for, like I said, 12K. So that's let me show you my routine for getting ready for running.
Okay, everybody, so I'm about to head out on my 12K run. Again, this is just a kind of a cutback run from my 32K run last week, and one more long run, which is 40K next week. But anyway, I was just kind of laughing as I'm about to head out to my run here along the rail trail, which is just down that way where I usually go running. It's nice and flat, so I drive down here. But anyway, as I was getting all my stuff together, it's just ridiculous. I've got, my Shocks wireless headphones on. As you know, I put on that Nix biosensor. It's underneath my shirt. I've got a heart rate monitor on here. I've got my foot pod on. It's just like, it's crazy, all this bionic stuff just for a 12K run. But anyway, I'm curious to test out this Nix biosensor, and yeah, I'll let you know how that goes. Well, hi everyone. I just finished that 10K run. It honestly was difficult because I did 67K on the bike yesterday, which is more than I have done in decades. So anyway, it was a bit of a challenge, but my main goal today was to test that thing out. That's my Nix biosensor. And I think I have some work to do to figure out some of the settings, like how it should alert my Apple Watch. It didn't really do that until it felt like 5 ounces. It told me to drink 5 ounces at some point, and by that time I was like, yeah, I'm pretty thirsty. It has a bunch of data that it's just downloaded, so I'm curious to see what that looks like. But I'm getting a little bit embarrassed and quite sick of all these sensors I've got. I put this on, and then I've got my Shocks headphones, as I mentioned. I've got that foot pod, and then as I'm running, my where is it? Heart rate monitor ended up down there. I don't think that's measuring much. Anyway, I think I like running when it was a little more simple. But good morning, everyone. It's Monday, April 17th, and this is my weekly update for marathon prep. The week went well. I swam 4.4K, cycled 153K, and ran 27K, which was intentional because it was my cutback week. I have one more long run next week. That'll be at 40K. That's a Sunday long run 40K. And I've also been testing out this Nix hydration biosensor. See if I can show it to you. I've got it in place right there. And I used it yesterday as a test to measure just the amount of sweat and supposedly the composition. And there was some interesting data that came from it. I have 4 of these patches, and they're quite expensive, so I'm trying to reuse it. This one, in my shower, I just stuck my arm out so I didn't get it wet, and clicked the sensor back into the patch this morning, so it seemed to stick. So we'll try it, see if it lasts a day or two, because again, those are quite expensive. But I just want to see if if basically the electrolytes I'm using are kind of effective, I guess. Yeah, anyway, we'll try it out. I don't think it's something I'll use long term, but we'll see how it goes. Other than that, my weight is sticking around between 155 and 157, which is just where I want it to be for this marathon coming up in the beginning of May, first Sunday in May. And so yeah, everything is on track. Well, good morning. It is Sunday, April 23rd, 6 a.m., and I'm about to get myself ready for my final long run in preparation for the marathon in Vancouver in 2 weeks. And training has been going well. This is a 40K run. This will be the longest run I do. It is 40-ish. It could be a little longer, could be a little shorter, but somewhere around 40. And so I'm going to plan on about 4 hours of running today. It's an overcast day here, which is kind of nice actually for running. And I am going to wear my Nix biosensor. I'm going to try that out again today. And I've got 2 more patches. So if it goes well today, I will wear it in the marathon. We'll see how it goes. As you know, the testing has been I'm not sure how much I love this thing. But it doesn't bug me, so I don't know, I'll try it. I'll determine whether I'm going to pay for more patches.
Yeah, so that's about the update again. 2 weeks to marathon, feeling pretty good, and about to have my coffee and just finish getting ready. The usual preparation is all of that stuff. So I've got my hat, my shoes, my socks, my electrolytes, my 4 water bottles, 2 handhelds, and 2 that go in that pack. Probably wear some gloves. I think I'm going to wear shorts today for the first time in a very long time, and a couple of other things to prevent chafing as well. So yeah, that's the kit, and I'm just about ready to go. I'll probably have about, oh gosh, I would say 45 minutes of warming up, and I'll be heading out around 8 o'clock this morning. So that'll be my last update until Vancouver Marathon. Hi, everybody. So, this is just an update from a very strange angle. I'm lying on my pulsed electromagnetic field mat, which I often do after running, but today I was supposed to do 40K, and I had lots of problems with my hips, which are always a source of a challenge, but yeah, it was really difficult. So I'm hoping to recover. I'm having a hard time actually walking. I don't know what that's all about right now, but I think some of it is that I've been really pushing my range of motion on my hips, stretching them a lot, and it's just kind of led to some trauma. So my run today ended up by being 33K. Took me over 4 hours, lots of stops, lots of rests, lots of drugs, lots of that being Advil and Tylenol, and yeah, it just wasn't great, but anyway, it's information. I've still got 2 weeks, and that is the end of my long runs. So as I said, next update is really officially in the Vancouver Marathon, but I thought I would just show you that I am lying on my pulsed electromagnetic field mat, trying to get some healing, because right now I am using walking poles. Yeah, it's tough, but anyway, should be better tomorrow. Hi, everybody. It's the weekly update for the marathon prep, which is again in 2 weeks. As you know, I just did an update this morning saying I was going on my long run, which I planned for 40K. As you saw perhaps on my other update just about 20 minutes ago, when I was lying on my PEMF mat, it didn't go quite as planned. I really ended up at 33K with a lot of pain in my hips, and I wasn't really sure why. And everything's been going well. My weight is actually at 154, which is perfect. Training has been going well. Everything's going well. And I had to sort of take a close look at what might be happening. And what I figured out was, I'm going to see if I can show this to you. Here we go. So my fancy new, not doing a very good job of this. Where is it? Let's do it like that. Okay, my fancy new saddle is very cool, except for the fact that it's quite a bit wider. I'm going to get a measurement on that, but compared to my saddle that I have been riding, so this is new for the last 2 weeks. It's a great triathlon saddle, but it's putting a lot of pressure on the inside of my ischial tuberosities, and probably putting pressure on obturator internus, one of the hip rotator muscles. And that's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like, as I was running, I'm feeling all this pain in my buttock, and I couldn't figure it out. You know, I look at the saddle that I have been using. I'll see if I can do a better job of that. That saddle, it's quite a bit more narrow. So I think I'm going to go back, and just until the marathon, and go back to riding my road bike with my road saddle, just to see if that kind of helps distribute the pressure and kind of get my hips to heal up. They feel a little bit better after lying on the mat and, you know, kind of limping around a little bit, but I should be fine. I got 2 weeks, and it's not the cardio. Cardio is great. Training went well. It's just diagnosing what caused this weird thing because 2 weeks ago I ran 32K and it was great, but that saddle is new. So I think that's it. I need to give myself a little more time to adapt to that saddle, but I will not be using that saddle at least until after the marathon, and then we'll see what happens after that. Hi everybody, it's May 1st, 2023, and this is Monday. Monday. And this is my weekly check-in. Usually I do it on Sunday, but Sunday got away from me. Anyway, lots, I guess, to update. Not all good. As you may remember that a week ago Sunday, I finished my long run, which was over 4 hours, sorry, in preparation for the marathon, which is coming up now in 6 days. And I really did something to my hip. I'm not exactly sure. I have arthritis and I just really flared it up. So all week, I haven't been running at all. I've been cycling, swimming, just in a lot of pain, really using essentially crutches and canes. And today is the first day I got walking on a treadmill, and I have 6 days. So I don't know. Like, I'm not sure I'm going to make it to the start line of this marathon, or whether I'm going to scale it back to a half marathon. I'm not sure yet. But I'm about to get on the treadmill again for the second time today. At least walk and just see how it goes. It's been getting about 5% better every single day, but that still isn't a lot. So, I'm at 30%, 40%. So, not running. So I don't know. Running a marathon seems crazy now, but I just have to see how it goes. We'll see. Anyway, that's my update for May 1st. Weight is good. It's at 156. Mileage has been 0 this week for running. So yeah, anyway, we'll see how it goes. Hi everybody, it is Monday, May the 8th, 2023, and this is my checkup to, I guess, have a final closure to the marathon, Vancouver Marathon, which would have happened yesterday. And yeah, it didn't happen for me. That hip injury that I sustained 2 weeks ago just never got better. I'm still limping around. It is improving. I still am nowhere near running. I'm limping with a walk still, but it is getting better. Cycling, I'm happy to say, has kind of gone up. And my swimming, well, this last week hasn't been, I only swam once. So my intention now that that marathon is in the past, and I'm re-signed up for, well, I haven't officially, but I will be signing up for the Victoria Marathon. If all goes well, that's in October. But right now I've got a lot of other goals ahead of me, and coming up very fast is my first triathlon in June. If all goes well, fingers crossed that the running comes along. And but it's an opportunity for me to really focus on my cycling and my swimming. So that's kind of what I'm going to do over the next couple of weeks until this hip allows me to run. And it will be close even for that, although it's an Olympic distance triathlon, it's still, I'm not running 2 steps. So hopefully I'll be ready for that. Anyway, that's really the conclusion of my marathon training. Unfortunately, I didn't even get at the start line, which has never happened to me before. But lessons learned, I'm going to really be focusing on not just cycling and swimming, but also a lot more flexibility, really focusing a lot more on my yoga, my daily practice. I kind of let that go, and my strength as well. A lot of hip strength work I'll be focusing on. And I hope to look at this as a learning experience. I was coming along really well as part of my comeback, but yeah, this is a little hiccup, and hopefully it's nothing too serious and kind of get back at it. So other than that, my weight, I didn't weigh in this past Friday because I was in Vancouver. So I'll weigh in again next Friday, but
I believe I'm sort of sitting probably around just under 160 now. And other than that, diet is going well. You can call it that, my usual intermittent fasting. But anyway, yeah, I'm just probably eating a few more carbs now intentionally because it's increasing my power on some of my longer rides. But yeah, that's it. So that's my marathon conclusion, and I guess to be continued. So, after all that training and that work to get my weight down, I did indeed injure my left hip, and I was unable to even start the marathon. I have a long history of degeneration in my left hip, which was another reason I originally decided to lose some weight back in 2022 to take some pressure off of that hip. Unfortunately, when I started to really increase my mileage in running and cycling, I made a couple of mistakes in my training block that really aggravated this chronic condition of my degeneration in my left hip. The three mistakes that I made were: number one, I stopped doing my regular yoga practice as I felt my training was going so well I didn't need to focus on strength and flexibility. Very silly. Number two, I put myself into too deep of a time trial position with my aero bars on my triathlon bike, and this really aggravated my hip due to my already limited range of motion. I blame my ego for that one. And number three, I really should have left myself 3 full weeks of recovery. During my last long run, it's now 2.5 weeks after I injured that hip, and I'm starting to feel about 60% healed now. I've used the last week or so, and in really the last few days, to try and correct those mistakes. I'm back to my regular stretching and strengthening, my daily yoga practice, and I have adjusted the height of my time trial bars and put my ego aside, raised it up 30 millimeters with this spacer, and it's starting to feel much more comfortable. I'm not going to try to return to running for about another week or so, but I'm really increasing my intensity in swimming and cycling, which generally do not bother my hips as much. My next race that I have planned is the first Olympic distance triathlon since about the mid-1990s. And I have about 4 weeks to go until that. So if all goes well, I should be good to go for that. I'm very excited about that race, and as I mentioned at the introduction, I've also registered for a half Ironman this July, or an Ironman 70.3. I've also decided to register for another crack at a marathon, putting it off until October, the Victoria Marathon, where I did the half marathon last year. So fingers crossed that my correction of past mistakes will lead me to making at least to the start line of the marathon. I know it's unusual to post a training documentary where the featured person doesn't even make it to the start line, but I decided I'm going to complete this documentary and post it anyway, in hopes that some people can maybe learn from some of my mistakes and perhaps appreciate the result of the DNS, the did not start, didn't cause me to want to quit my comeback, but in fact actually has re-inspired me to make some amendments to my training, and it will hopefully, I think in the long run, make me even stronger. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, please give it a thumbs up and maybe share it with somebody who may be in a similar position to me. Also, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I have lots of videos on other training material, meditations, and physiotherapy related topics. Peacefully, Brett.